win against Wigan, was that just what the doctor ordered after the previous week?
It certainly was a good reaction. It was a better Monday morning coming into work than the Monday before, for sure. So, in terms of, as I said in the post-match interview, that I wasn't really sure what we'd serve up because it was such a flat week. So for the players to get up and show that much energy and show that much desire and enthusiasm after what was an unbelievably disappointing loss, it's credit to them.
Rob Burrow's back in your 19-man squad for Thursday's game. How good is it to have Rob back available?
Yes, it is. He's. You don't need me to talk him up about how important he is to us, but just some of that onus that's on Danny Maguire and Joel Moon in the arms. If Rob's there, he just provides that extra voice, that extra backup of game plan, that extra option on game day as well.
And Brett Delaney returned last week. How impressed were you with Brett's comeback?
I can't help laughing because he came back and he busted his lip and he had to have stitches in his lip. So I think he does it on purpose. I can't imagine anybody would go out there. So I just read something once. I don't know what I was reading about, but he says he looks like he's gone out and been beat up in town outside a nightclub, and that's what he does every time he plays, Brett. So I thought he was great. After being out for such a long period of time, his fitness was great. Jason Davison's done a really good job with him, getting him back. Andy Barker, the physio, it's a real weird one where he twisted both knees, so Andy Barker's had to pull out all the stops there to get him back when he did. So they both need credit because the worth of what those two did, Jason and Andy Barker, is how he played on game day, and he didn't look too much out of place. And just some of that real robust toughness, especially when Wigan tried to up the ante and get away from their end. And I think on one occasion he picked up one of their big fellas and dumped him on his back, and then the following tackle put his head in the way and tackled. I think he tackled Talima Tautai with his head on his knee and pretty much head-butted his knee. Now it stopped Talima Tautai, but it ended up getting he ended up having to have stitches in his lip afterwards. So great to have him back, and we've certainly missed that type of player.
One of the things I asked Stevie Ward actually was about the Challenge Cup. I'm not suggesting that going out of it is a good thing, but looking at the league table, looking at the Super 8s, could it be a blessing in disguise? He talked about clarity now, in that it's all or nothing really when it comes to the grand final now. Does that help you as a coach? Do you agree with that?
Well, anything works. Anything works. You give me a scenario, we'll make it work. And at the moment, the scenario is we're not in the Challenge Cup, so we'll make it work. But not being in it is no guarantee that you're going to be fresher. It's no guarantee that all of a sudden you're going to have more energy towards the grand final. You've got to get it right. So that week of the Challenge Cup is an interesting one, what you do with it. And historically, you give players some time off and give them some days off to refresh their bodies, bearing in mind that they are all walking about with something which would keep your normal men in bed. So you've got to get it right. The fact that we're out the Challenge Cup, it's a scenario we need to get right. But whether it's a positive or not, I don't think I'd go that far as say that. But I like the word what Stevie used. It does give you a bit of clarity about what's in front of you.
Wakefield had a bit of a shocker by their coach's admission against the Giants, so I guess that can go one of either ways. Would you expect a reaction from them or feel a bit sorry for themselves?
No, there'll be a reaction. They've been in good shape this year, Wakefield. They've played pretty well and been very consistent. And just recently they've blipped a little bit, especially last week. But it's in the locker for them. They don't have to dig too far down to the back of that locker to bring out that good performance. So, we're anticipating a good reaction from them.
A couple of players that we've talked about, your players of course, in recent weeks in here, Ash Golding and Stevie Ward. Fantastic performances from both of them on Friday. And I imagine for you, great to see them hitting their stride at this part of the season.
Yes, it is. Ash Golding, he nailed some stuff there on Friday night, which was great. And you can see how good he can be, and that was by no means the finished article. Still got lots there that he will get better at. And we all know Stevie Ward. I do anyway, whether you fellas do. We all know Stevie Ward can be extremely good, an extremely good player, given enough games back to back without having to stand down. So he's done that just recently, and I thought he was brilliant. I just he's how robust he can be, how tough he can be, yet skillful, and got an eye for the try line as well. He was great.
Just looking at Wakefield, only a couple of seasons ago they were in the £1 million game against Bradford. Last 2 years though they've been in the Super 8. How big an achievement is that for a club like Wakefield?
I think it's very good. Yeah, I think Chris Chester's brought some stability to them, and coaching wise, I think he's given them some on-field sense, if you like. They're consistent, and when they'll be losing games, they're not far off either. I know they've had a couple of rough results just recently, but they've been really good this year. And a team that I've looked at and thought, right, what can we pick up off of these men, like you do with all the best teams. And I think over the last two seasons, given what happens to Wakefield most seasons off the field, ever since they've been in Super League, they've had off-field issues, whether it be every season, but it's certainly every other season. And I think everybody in the game would like to see a very strong Wakefield. I know that I'm from Wakefield myself. I know the city is capable of producing enough players that could sustain a Super League team. It is a Rugby League mad city, but they just can't seem to nail the off-field stuff, which is always the case. It's always the case when clubs struggle. It's not so much that they struggle so much on the field, performance-wise. You can bounce back from those season upon season, but off-field, I would like to think that Wakefield would get that together, because I think what they've done on the field has been consistent.